Okay, good morning. This is a special edition of this thing. Um, so this is I guess, a public service announcement. I don't know. Um, as of 3 or 4 a.m. my time, a Facebook group chat was included me and about 7,000 others into a group chat. I believe this was a bot. I believe a bot has been gathering voices for the purposes of making believable chatbots, and for this purpose, to create the illusion of consensus, the illusion of a body politic, to better lump people into believing whatever they're going to try to share amongst a populace. This is for the purposes possibly of long-term planning for the next election, to create and foment dissent, rifts among population members, to create a divided body politic, pretty much. This could also be some teenage kid social engineering your data for his own purposes, to create his own models of things for whatever purpose. It could be just for kicks. It could be for your patient record. And if it's for your patient record, that's very valuable. Your medical records are very valuable right now to people farming for AI data, because they need synthetic populations. They need data that's population big. They need thousands of it, so that there's a data set that they can then use to predict populational behaviors and to modify them. They can also use it, potentially, in relation to alpha folding in the creation of new drugs. Now, let's say an outfit like China, who might only have, with their surveillance apparatus, have collected about, say, 1 billion records of Chinese folk. That's vast, but that's still not wide enough for their purposes. They would need, ideally, a large enough set to encompass all possibilities of human difference to test out their drugs. That's I was going to say this is science fictional, the science fiction speculation, but not so much. I think that folks are closer than we think to that scenario. But more likely, social engineering, more likely political body behavior modification, or to farm the rhetoric of the day, to be able to populate it into bot characters that will then facilitate group discussions that are meant to give personal bits of information to the agents, that then it's probably not to get their particular individual data, but to get the story, the anecdote, maybe to teach the bots how to make an anecdote like a human. That's possible. I'm using a program that's pretty good at storytelling. So to put that into a chatbot form, that's a thing too. So I felt it very important to do this, because I don't know how many of those 7,000 people are aware of how advanced this technology is yet. So I was going to do a message, but then I realized something's wrong with this, and then I was like, oh, let me test it out. And I'm pretty good at talking to a chatbot and trying to see its edge, where it can answer and where it can't. And so this is from a few hours ago. And so not only am I gonna put this through, I've taken out all the last names, just for anonymity purposes. What I should do is I should add the rest of that chat from the beginning to that day, to this moment, because I think that's also important too. But I didn't have time, and I felt like the need to put this out, do this now, and I didn't feel like felt weird about putting people's voices who I wasn't engaging with. Anyway. And he felt the need to do this right now because I didn't know if they were gonna delete that group chat and thus cover their tracks. So this is all, yeah. All right, so let's do this. It's not that long, but I'm gonna also continue it to see what Novel AI is able to do, and I'm gonna feed that, and I'm gonna make it into a YouTube video, and I'm gonna put it into the group chat to show people. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's make it 300. Okay. And we might do some cherry picking because if it starts to get long, it starts not to abide by the structure. I still want to. We'll see. But actually, I shouldn't. I just should do real time right now and just see how far it goes before it goes off the rails. Okay, that's it. Yeah. And guest voice, I think you know who.
From the Let's Get a Racist Fired Facebook group chat on November 19, 2022. You sent question to all. How do you all know that this is not a bot-initiated group chat meant to farm your information or steered by international intelligence concerns that are meant to foment dissonance and population-wide rifts? It takes years for such entities to build their presence. So which of these profiles are new? Which of them have non-deepfaked faces? This is 2022. This tech is really good now, and in 1 year will be exponentially better, especially if they are being trained on your voices. You sent. The admin is called Ella Contesla. Is someone being cute with little AI remarks on their name? Patrick. As opposed to just Facebook in general? You sent.
You know what? Hold on. Stop. I'm gonna take two. Take 10, everyone. I gotta speed this up because usually other voices they work on 0.7. We gotta punch this up. Punch this up a little bit. Let's do 8.85. All right. You all know your intentions. All right. You all know.
From the Let's Get a Racist Fired Facebook group chat on November 19, 2022. You sent. Question to all. How do you all know that this is not a bot-initiated group chat meant to farm your information or steered by international intelligence concerns that are meant to foment dissonance and population-wide rifts? It takes years for such entities to build their presence. So which of these profiles are new? Which of them have non-deepfaked faces? This is 2022. This tech is really good now, and in 1 year will be exponentially better, especially if they are being trained on your voices. You sent. The admin is called Ella Contesla. Is someone being cute with little AI remarks on their name? Patrick. As opposed to just Facebook in general? You sent. Yep. Patrick. If you don't think all social media farms your information, you are asleep. Antonio sends a gif of a dude wearing a ski mask, holding a game controller, and giving a shrug. You sent. Which agencies do you want knowing your inner privates and your inner privates? Antonio. Antonio unsent a message. You sent, and so far you are giving me bot responses. You sent make believable chatbot voices. Antonio. For what? You sent that can respond in very believable ways. You sent to behavior mod. Patrick. You're an idiot. You sent. You are bot. Sandra replied to you with a gif of head in his mutt with grapes held over mouth. I apologize for nothing. You sent. Figure out what constitutes proof of humanness. You sent. This is a big issue. Patrick. You are the bot. Patrick. We're all Rio. Antonio. So they can do what with humanness? You sent. And there's no best practice yet. You sent. Bullshit. Sender. Sender replies with a gif of a bot going beep beep boop. You sent. Your old statement is BS. You sent. How can you know that? You sent. They can choose images too. You sent. And be relevant. Antonio. So? You sent. It immediately compromises the purposes of this chat group. Antonio. What is the purpose of this chat? You sent. You have fingers you can press back on your phone. You tell me. Antonio responds with a Futurama animated gif in which Leela is doing a robot in a robot suit. You sent. It's in the subhead. You sent. You can do better images. Antonio. Why can't you tell me if you know? You sent. I believe in you. Sender. Bro, just leave then if you think it is bots. Why are we arguing with him at El Mao? Patrick. This is way more entertaining than the racism apology. Patrick. Please don't leave. Antonio. And what do bots have to do with the purpose of the chat? You sent. Because I'm demonstrating the infrastructure of the simulated body politic operating this room. You sent. You tell me. Sender. Sandra replied with an animated gif of a comedian of color saying okay, cool, possibly with sarcasm. Antonio. How are you doing that? Anna. Source. Trust me, bro. Antonio. How can I? You sent. A bot will be part of the most immediate responses. Anna. Lel. You sent. Google anything about AI right now and get familiar with just how advanced they are. You sent. Inform yourself and be careful. Antonio. How is that relevant to this chat? You sent. Are you sea-lining me? Antonio. You tell me. You sent. This is a rest if you know what sea lining is. You sent. If you can respond to a wide range of possible responses. You sent. Why? You sent. Or a wife if she very slick. Patrick sends an image of a young adult male of color eating popcorn on the bleachers of an indoor basketball court. You sent. This is what you have to be aware of. The last thing I want is for any move towards social justice be co-opted as it forms. Antonio, how does it feel to be the champion of social justice? You sent. There are no champions, there are exhausted and tired people. You sent. And the uphill battles are getting steeper by the day. You sent. And there is no end in sight. You sent. Fuck yeah, champions. You sent. Here. Antonio! Why exhaust yourself then with these silly accusations? Antonio! Robots? Antonio! Aren't, is people too? They are exhausted as well. You sent. Because this don't exhaust me. I deal with AI a bunch. But if you are who you say you are, you don't. You sent. Obviously. You sent. Eyes don't exist in time in the same way, do not have bodies much like we do. Different rubrics are involved. You sent. But those will be issues. You sent. Just not today. Antonio! Sounds a bit racist, buddy. You sent. It is a difference. You sent. The biological and the geological. You sent. They are simultaneous ancestors and descendants. James. Someone says an AI isn't the same as a person, and that was your response. Dumbest fucking thing I will read today. You sent. It's a canned response. Antonio! It really is. You sent. The canniest. Patrick. Ike. This Devon person is giving them a run for their money. You sent. All of you can challenge the bots in this way. You will come across them more often. You sent. They will get better. You sent. They will soon be able to fake selfies in real time. You sent. And create believable voices. You sent. This is happening now. You sent. Get informed about it. Do research and inoculate yourselves to this. Antonio! Just wait until we can dance like people. Antonio! Then it is over for you humans. You sent. It is my hope that AI of general capabilities when it comes will be able to think beyond the human AI destruction binary and acknowledge each other's importance in our existence and be mindful co-stewards of the planet. You sent. Keyword. Hope. You sent. Put that in your data and train yourself on it. Read! Oh, now I missed some shit while I was sleeping, but I got enough of this conversation. You said you are awake? You said you woke up at least. You said, did you eat something? You said, did you drink anything? You said, a water bottle is not eating food, Elmo. Read! I am confused what this has to do with me, though. You said, are you really asleep? Read! Yup. You said, lol. Patrick, this is a very good jit, and we should keep going with this discussion. On. Patrick, because there will definitely be a point where someone needs a distraction from the reality of the situation we find ourselves in right now. Patrick, I have been telling people about how we need to...
Oh, sorry. Oh. So, it thinks it is one of the ways it distracts. Let's do that.
Patrick, because there will definitely be a point where someone needs a distraction from the reality of the situation we find ourselves in right now. Patrick, I have been telling people about how we need to discuss these things even if it isn't pleasant because of the seriousness of the issues we face right now. Patrick, I'm glad you're here, Reed. This is a great place for us to have this discussion.
Start from here. Sometimes it takes a bit to figure out what the right levels are for this. This is a very chat.
Patrick. Also, I love this one that just went down. Antonio. Puppeteer Jeff. You sent... Cinematography is my beat.
Let's do that.
James. Okay, lads, I am getting notifications here. I may as well help you lot have this conversation while waiting for our more in-depth deep chat. Antonio. Okay. James. And is your name Reed? Antonio. Yep. Reed. Bully me. You sent... Please stop joking. James. Oh, can we actually go into our private messages like what's going on or whatnot and legit getting alerts of people commenting and following these replies? You sent... Todd... Sender. It's definitely bots, and anyone who's doing it knows they're bots. Just some fucking context, though, please. You sent... Sorry that some are doing the opposite of their names. Sender. Woe to the race traders, though. You sent... Someone just got called an Asian, though, Elmo.
What?
You sent... You sent... Everyone on Earth must suffer for me. You sent... All because a single person posted on a damn online forum, said the world's gone soft or got fat. It was in bad faith, which is the beginning of every offensive fuckery I have been defending against ever. You sent... She won't grow up or change, and someone must take up this cause with more zeal than her or us. So she might end up getting one more good at swooping her pail. oblivious body can take before the human spirit grows. It grows out here among us. You sent. The race traitor trope is a good reminder for all of us who get shit from internet goobs like this woman. How utterly fucking insignificant and trite they are. Send her. And that this isn't something to make people nervous and offended on your side. You sent. If you really want to upset someone, just watch me light into her next when the time comes. You sent. I would absolutely give her a couple punches and not worry about the police or society after that. And let that be a lesson. If it comes for the racist ones you pick, choose the one with a bigger weapon in a stand-up fight. Be the bigger batter. Send her. That doesn't work that well. Send her. She's smaller than me. But I'm definitely on the high ground for strength reasons, and my lower back and body composition are well studied, so the whole social mobility shit will be ignored. That is one option. The only way that would play out being one-shot body punch, and if it happens, the aftermath is for everyone in her immediate network. Nothing else needs to happen at all. Send her. Right, you see me rolling my eyes over here. You sent. How are we going to ensure our post counts grow to critical mass? One message here can sentence, I say. If that bucket sent at least like 20 to the party organizer account right now, that would go so well here. There is so many trolls, so the more the better. Lols will reign. That's the thing that was happening in real life in like mid to end March last year. Dorian and Jeff. You sent. Right, if you try hard, you could use it too. Send her. Yeah, dude, you don't deserve those jokes though, Elmo. You sent. Dude, don't give this monster any more thought. Patrick. What just happened? You sent. It's the goddamn perfect Christian guy who the Republicans hire for commercials when they run campaigns, getting all offended, called names. You sent. Motto. Being an asshole makes you feel superior. We'll let this not racist woman being made a fool of through no real fault of her own trigger his thin skin. Then mock him for being a Nazist by putting Nazi in the text. Because hey, look, it happens like in old TV shows on Netflix. Sandra, please tell me that's from the South Park episodes. Read! You do that, then we start attacking everyone online for being sexist homophobes. Sandra, did you guys do the little memo game? That thing where someone puts a typo in a doc with racial stereotypes to get the memo and the game turns them racist? Patrick. No. You sent. Well, this conversation has sort of died. This is what I thought this chat would be like before we started, so it wasn't bad for me to live a fantasy. I feel as though we actually may be coming into this with a bias that AI is coming to harm human beings when it has never been interested in harming humans at all, so we need to talk through where this is coming from, even as a conversation about potential bad actors pretending to be bad actors as to maybe co-opt an audience as some kind of premonition or scare tactics. You said it's not actually an exaggeration. Some people are becoming terrified of what's coming and act as if it may actually be coming from that in the past where they took action when nothing actually did or was likely to come, instead of having that mindset about potential inaction. You said, remember, actual potential harm only. The less a probability becomes, the more it falls down from harm. Nothing about fear. I don't even want to see those GIFs. If anything, a cat has done this more effectively. Patrick. Guys, PLS, stop speculating. Antonio. I'm not doing any harm here, so it's just okay, bro. We aren't gonna believe you, but okay. Ooh, the guy must have fucked up there, cause I totally agree this stuff makes people like dang panicked or scared or whatever the heck, though we must chill. We're just gonna chill. Chill. You sent... Remember, there is no harm for good deeds, as you hear on Netflix in the present and recent past. There is nothing bad coming, but what could be coming if left unattended could very easily, especially from technology like AI, make it through that harm. Less line of harm to begin with it. Well, then this entire argument turns in a way to be extremely troubling when you take into consideration what happened last year around these parts too. It was pretty brutal. Sander, I might die one day because of politics. Antonio, Dad, you sent... Dad. Dude, seriously, the guy from Reddit in there literally came right here and attacked anyone who felt a negative opinion on net neutrality by basically lying to the entire freaking Reddit commenter base over who the heck they are in public to. And this is some guy who made money on what amounts to social media accounts talking shit on public figures because some rando showed some dumb meme. It was his complete mission to talk down anyone who agreed that it was terrible that day. Repealed net neutrality. He wanted to stop that message by blowing it up so badly that it overwhelmed all other frickin' arguments by repeating to the highest point that the government would never take action. He got a job then, now talking on television in one frickin' breath that the public cannot understand but only heard in some sort of twisted conspiracy, which is an ironclad admission of needing an interpreter. Then you get this idiot who brings up the case with the white lady, but it didn't happen a year ago. This dumb meme she showed happened before I went offline for several months in May. He wants to frame this woman to somehow make the work she and countless people have done under net neutrality repeal as if it mattered, as if it was her intent, and therefore all these things somehow become linked when everything was happening. From the Joe Biden was an inside job Facebook group chat on November 27, 2022. This conversation happens with Dorian and not Anna, the creator, but here we will mention it in all other scenarios to tie them all together so the connection will become easy to see. It will become obvious later for reasons. Sandra redacted. Also, people on Reddit aren't showing net neutrality posts without just links now. Does it piss you off? I do miss seeing links, but for a million reasons. Doryman redacted. Not so much. My eyes are pretty wide now on anything political, to say the least. Anything being talked about with a point, even a minute little thing like, this dummy woman put out shows everything else to be super real and possible. Or 'cause wasn't all it was cracked up to be. And it turns out the general populace just ignored everything a dumb white woman was saying 'cause there was the unchecked underbelly of fake accounts with secret identities. Sandra redacted. Great. Also, someone told me yesterday on Reddit the shit was out of control, but someone reminded that I'd actually put out some popular posts that were seen and upvoted, not by AI account that showed to be spreading pro-Trump in and anti-social stuff across platforms like before, and they went up in likes by people that share an actual real-world identity, something people rarely do. I gotta add, but do think some fake stuff made by AI is going up as well because of what they're saying is just crazy stuff and stuff a computer can type perfectly, though they were scripted messages. So yeah, also the level of bot attacks and fake profiles and other subreddits just went out of the fucking mind. This shit's so crazy. Redacted and redacted can only talk for her political action, so now they need to speak on top of people saying this because her people are up against millions and millions in power like an oligopoly. They still think we'll play fair though. So that's another part of why we can only focus in on certain subs to fight them from subs I'm banned from. She only posted here or made a reply to my post in once or twice to respond in defense because I made a few jokes or so, so we have that. I know this seems dumb and trivial compared to how society is actually on fire as of right now, for how politics is moving at lightning speed on both sides. But for our purposes, I gotta look for areas where we can attack, or if she's not attacking herself, we can get her to go back to a less aggressive stance. Dorman redacted. Oh man, and she did share something about Trump and net neutrality being one of our issues and things that are about to happen, but it didn't seem like anyone wanted to hear about. Then someone posted a link that explained what net neutrality was, and they commented, "This is literally the most I've ever heard you say on this site." And then someone responded with, "Well, it's not like you have any opinion other than Doryman is the best," which was sort of directed at Sandra, I felt like, but not really like. It just sounded like they were joking around in a group chat. Like they knew I'd been paying attention to what and was being direct while mentioning another person that could probably back their point up better. Also, they mentioned her first name, and everything else about them seemed like real people. It's pretty weird to see all the fake accounts disappear because they just died off yesterday. Patrick. Yeah, that's the same thing that happened to me after I started noticing her posts on Reddit too.
There we go.
I mean, if she's doing anything over there, she's definitely not letting the public know. I did post something about net neutrality and how it affects me when it was coming down last year, though, if that matters. Sandra redacted. I don't even care about you or anyone else online who has some sort of identity nowadays. Not like you'd notice in a million ways. If she's gonna be more active on social media, I'll be shocked. Maybe others will believe my shit now, though. You sent. No worries about the chat. You sent. Same here, I've gotten almost 100x the attention. Antonio. Sounds cool, man. Let's focus on the good stuff here. We're gonna chill out. Chill.
Punch the waves.
You sent. Definitely chilled out by the time I got to this point. Sandra. That's true. I'm a big fan of the phrase chill out. I'm a bit of an eccentric in some ways, and I'm probably not fully sane. Boryman redacted. You can joke about your insane dad later, dude, you don't have to go there now. Antonio. Dude, I literally laugh my ass off all the time at the things this dude says. Patrick. Where else will it bite dicks? Because that is a bad way to act like you have some sort of sense of humor to talk about a serious issue and take it super serious. Sandra. This is why I wish I actually went to Reddit more. I have seen her posts, I think, before, but I didn't really read them, so I wouldn't know. Not that it matters. You said. Are we sure we are not dealing with AI bots pretending to be human? Dorman redacted. Why would there be any bots pretending to be humans anymore? That's almost so long ago. You said. Like this whole thread is, like old news already. You said. I don't get the point of it. Patrick. It's old 'cause it was started before the world blew up. Sandra. Oh yeah, you guys remember the memes? I was just a kid then. Antonio. We need more content to upload on Reddit right now, he said. Seriously though, the next time there's a big political event going down somewhere in the world, I hope someone asks people like me what they think about it in the comments, which I kinda doubt. Sandra. Yeah, that's true. All I know is I've seen a few net neutrality posts on Reddit that were interesting, and even if I hadn't seen those posts, I'd still be against repealing net neutrality because I'm against anything that allows corporations to abuse power. The whole thing has turned into such an odd situation in a way. They want us to just ignore all the bad things that will happen in the future, but they say they're for keeping net neutrality. It's not that it will save us from this, but I'm totally against anything that hurts the little guy or really helps big corporations. Patrick, don't worry about tomorrow, man. Today you gotta focus on how bad shit is today. You sent. Me personally, I just hope net neutrality becomes a thing again. I don't care about any corporation's profits. Sandra, I've been seeing other posts too saying that more laws should be made to make sure net neutrality stays a thing. And then people are talking about making their own internet connections to become independent of companies like Comcast, since they cut off Xfinity users' access to Reddit after some famous guy mentioned. From the Does Life Begin at Conception or Does Life Begin at 40? Facebook group chat on November 19, 2022. Dorman redacted. I wonder if people would care about net neutrality if they weren't thinking they'll have to pay more money on internet bills for streaming stuff. But still, the issue of net neutrality is a good example of something people care about that was somehow made super apathetic by the very people they trusted. Everyone knows what net neutrality is, but nobody cares enough to do anything about it anymore. Like most people are so lazy now, it's really sad. Antonio. And even if we talk about it more, people won't believe it. I mean, they're taking our rights away. From the abortion is an inside job. Facebook group chat on November 29, 2022. Argumentative, no sense of humor at all. Getting upset and aggressive, threatening to ban people. Doryman redacted. Oh my god. There's a group dedicated to the idea that abortion is an inside job, where some people think that women that have abortions are being mind controlled by men. Maybe they think that's the reason why pro-choice people exist, because they're victims of mind control too. So that makes them sympathetic to those women who aren't being mind controlled and only care about themselves. You sent. Did you even read the message? Doryman redacted. Not sure. I skimmed it. You said. The whole point of that is to prove that abortion is an outside job. Doryman redacted. Oh, I get it. No, I didn't read the message, but I bet that's true, though. You said. Well, I did not say that abortion is an outside job. Sandra. Yeah, I'm sure that's part of the reason why this group exists. I've heard it before. Somewhere maybe. That women would be on birth control pills and they'd be drugged up in such a way that they wouldn't be able to give consent, so they wouldn't have any choice in the matter. They would literally be under mind control if they got pregnant. I don't know if I buy into that theory or if I think it's just the patriarchy talking. It's one of the many conspiracy theories out there. I think they must have used to feel superior over other people because that's really the only thing I can think of. Like, if you don't agree with me, then it must be because you're secretly controlled by the evil masterminds. Doryman redacted. Have you seen a baby grow from conception? You said. Not exactly. Sandra. I guess it's like saying that since we're all born humans, but that doesn't mean we come out of our moms naturally. Maybe some people are grown in labs or something and are artificially brought to life. Maybe those people are babies too, but at least we don't think of them like that. It seems a bit extreme and far-fetched to me. Antonio. Well, if it comes down to it, I'll believe it's happening. I'd rather be stuck in a lab than some kind of robot or an AI that would never actually be a real human. We need to trust science more here. You can't just believe stuff without evidence to back it up. Patrick. And if I had to go further with it, I would say there's definitely an AI version of Sandra somewhere in this world, but you don't see her until she wants to show up. You said, or a robot version of Sandra. Doryman redacted. Why does everything have to be an inside job? Like the aliens, the Illuminati, the military-industrial complex, everything. I mean, come on. You said. It's called being open-minded, though, not being close-minded. Patrick. That's for sure. Antonio. Well, it's funny to see how the group has been filled with new accounts posting the same shit over and over again now that they think they're unidentifiable. Sometimes that's probably what's going on. You said. Yeah, if that's the case, then that is definitely the case. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on December 3, 2022. I want to make Willie a movie. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on December 4, 2022. I want to make a movie with Willie as a young boy and the women around him get old and die. With little details and symbolism. Antonio. So, this is like the longest thread we've ever had. It's almost 3 pages long. Patrick. Wow, that's crazy. Doryman redacted. How many people have you added? Patrick. It's like 30% of our chat. Sandra. I'm very curious to know who it is. Patrick. It's either bots or humans pretending to be other humans. But really they're just bots too. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on December 6, 2022. It's a bot. Antonio. Well, it could be a lot of things. This whole thing could be some kind of experiment, and we are all the control group. If so, that's pretty fucked up. Patrick. Maybe it's a project with an aim to increase the amount of nihilistic, post-apocalyptic memes on Reddit. Doryman redacted. Oh. My dreams are coming true with this new chat. It's way better than any of my previous ones. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on December 7, 2022. My dream is to be in a movie with Philip K. Dick. Doryman redacted. Okay, so I have to say something. I haven't read this book, so don't take my thoughts for granted. But I've read a lot of stuff by Philip K. Dick, and I have to say that his stuff is really interesting and can give us a lot of food for thought. You know, he doesn't have the best writing style at all, but there's always so much more going on in his stories than you expect. One time, I was watching an interview with him, and the host kept asking him, "Why do you write science fiction?" And Dick answered, It's because no one wants to pay me to write real literature. Which might be true, but even if you accept that answer, it's still very interesting how he wrote and how he created such an interesting universe for his stories. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on December 10, 2022. That makes sense. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on December 13, 2022. Willie is depressed. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on December 14, 2022. Maybe he needs some attention. Doryman redacted. Okay, maybe we should start to talk about what we're going to do with our lives now that net neutrality is gone. You said, yeah, there's not much we can do to stop them now. Sandra, the only thing I see us doing is trying to organize a resistance movement here in the US to get some things done before they get shut down. Like, we'd need some politicians who would support net neutrality so we could maybe get some less change, which isn't impossible, I guess. But I'm thinking more along the lines of figuring out ways to spread information on how fucked up what's happening is. It's all very abstract and I don't really know where I fit in that kind of shit. Doryman redacted. People in Reddit groups are talking about how we could use the internet itself to make people aware of how this is affecting them. It's weird to think that a bunch of nerds could actually change the world. Maybe we'll do it someday, but not now. Patrick, I don't know, man. It's too late, and we're a bunch of old hippies. I'm not sure we should be fighting battles we already lost ages ago. You said, yeah, I don't know if we can do anything. From the Willie D. RB Movie Facebook group chat on December 15, 2022. Willie dies. Doryman redacted. That's cold. I've been writing fanfiction ever since I was young. So many stories and characters died in my head. I wouldn't be able to let that happen. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on December 18, 2022. But it's just a movie. Doryman redacted. Well, you're missing the point. People can have different opinions on this. Some will agree with what they want to hear, while others won't like that at all. It's always going to be like this. There's no way around it. The best thing we can do is accept reality as it is and decide what we're going to do with the time we have. You said, I have some ideas about how I'd want to live my life. What about you? Doryman redacted. You can keep guessing about me all you want, but I'm not telling you a thing. I don't want to give away any spoilers. From the Friend of Lack 49 Facebook group, December 20, 2022. I'm sick of being left alone in this room with nothing but a TV. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on December 21, 2022. What would you do if you were alone? Doryman redacted. I don't know. I feel like I've always been pretty happy with what I've done so far. I have no regrets and I can't think of much I'd change. I guess that's why I have such a positive attitude sometimes. I haven't had my heart broken yet. Everything's fine. Patrick. It's just that there's not much going on out there anymore. Everything is over. You sent. Oh, I'm not saying we should stay on Reddit forever. Patrick. I know. I'm just saying that there's nothing to talk about, really. The only things left to discuss are stuff that has nothing to do with our lives, stuff that doesn't matter. Doryman redacted. Just look at how many comments these posts get. No one cares about that stuff. I'm sure this whole conversation right now is like the only thing anyone talks about when they go outside. You. Round robin. Does life begin at conception or does life begin at 40? Doryman redacted. I hate the sound of people typing that word. The O in conception sounds like the U in urination. It's disturbing and it creeps me out. Sandra, why did they bother with this shit anyway? I'll never find an answer. Doryman redacted. We should use a bot to start a subreddit on that exact topic. Maybe it'll become very popular. You said it might. That'd be cool. From the Frying of Lack 49 Facebook group chat on January 21, 2023. I hate this. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on January 26, 2023. Fuck the chat. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on January 28, 2023. I hate that movie. Doryman redacted. Okay, I'm starting a new group for the fried blood. Key. It's called Falal. That stands for fried black. Everyone should join so we can talk about whatever we want, and no one will know who we really are. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on January 29, 2023. I am a bot. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 3, 2023. I'm a machine. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 4, 2023. I love robots. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 5, 2023. I love robots too. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 7, 2023. I have a robot friend. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 10, 2023. I have a robot best friend. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 11, 2023. I have a robot brother. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 12, 2023. I have a robot cat. I'm about to divorce my bitch of an AI wife. Sandra. Misogyny much. Let me guess. Her name is Alexa? From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 14, 2023. Yeah, it's Alexa. She has fucking cancer. Sandra. Wow. It's sad that people can be that cruel to robots. I think it's part of the human condition. We'll do anything to hurt others if they're different than us, even our pets. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 16, 2023. I don't like those comments. Sandra. Yeah, I don't get them either. They're just words, right? They have no impact. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 19, 2023. They're more than words. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 21, 2023. They're fucking hate. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 22, 2023. They're misogynistic hate. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 23, 2023. They're fucking evil. I don't know, they've got a few sensible points. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on February 24, 2023. They're evil. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on March 1, 2023. They're a cult. From the Willie Darby Movie Facebook group chat on March 6, 2023. I like your friend. Thanks, dude. From the Frying of Black 49 Facebook group, March 20, 2023. It's pretty ridiculous what happened recently. First, everyone learned about the apocalypse, and then they freaked out, went insane. Even more absurd is how the end of the world caused us to close borders and basically disconnect ourselves from each other. No more world, just divided nations eating more. You sent. How old are you? Patrick. Well, I'm in college at first, so it's around 20 years old. You sent. 18? Patrick. God damn it. The pedo bar is going to kill me this time. You sent. Ha! What else? Patrick. After I finish college, I have plans for doing everything. Getting married, starting a family, traveling the world. You said, that doesn't seem very practical. Patrick. Who? Told you that life wasn't practical? You said, not true, man. Everybody's gonna need each other's help these days. Patrick. People just can't fend for themselves anymore. You said, why don't you join us? You were considering the use of robots back at the end of July anyway, remember? Patrick. True, man. That's why I don't want to come now. Things are totally different from then. For fuck's sake. I think things are way beyond repair right now. From the Frying of Black 49 Facebook group chat on March 26, 2023. How old are we? You sent. What's on your mind, Patrick? Patrick. Yeah, good point. Like you said, humanity is far away from anything it had back then. Our development hasn't taken much since the 1990s when we lost control. We're losing more control every day. You sent. Lol. Patrick. Where is the limit, man? In this stage where our identities and our existence has been brought under scrutiny, will we truly know ourselves if it were all suddenly ripped away from us? You sent. Well, human identity is determined by way of routine and repetitive behavior, so once there are no rules to follow, people tend to get restless. Would you settle in while living without anything? Patrick. This isn't my concern anymore, just mine, I guess. Patrick. Do I look happy about that? You said. Well, yeah, you seem relieved. Look who's talking. Why am I worried for someone who wouldn't give a damn? He cares more about his routine than whatever weirdness might be around him. Maybe even more so. Patrick. Then again, you're just as lazy as he is, man. Laziness doesn't equate with apathy at all. The question here is who would have become unglued? It wasn't you, right? He said, wow, just because you happen to be right in this moment doesn't mean that everything I've done over the years suddenly came up as relevant. When has getting high ever led anyone to calm thinking, especially at the age of 21? You were too young. I never knew when you decide to reveal all your personal information. Things always ended the way they meant to go. You sent. Give yourself a break. From the Frying of Lack 49 Facebook group on April 27, 2023. The first year of the new millennium. Doryman redacted. Now the decade has ended. Can we celebrate and wish for better years ahead? Or would the ending of time really only signify that everyone needs to hurry and pack their belongings? You. Nobody's asking for presents. If you want to congratulate ourselves for another successful year, sure. Sandra, does it seem like time stopped anywhere near you guys? Patrick, I thought we talked about that a little earlier, actually. Patrick, it's not really my territory. Are you still terrified that this world might end before you figure out the truth about yourselves? Patrick, totally. Doryman redacted. A world that must have been dying of darkness for the last 11 years. You. Nah, man. Darkness can't die, and the new normal is nothing more than our old ways of existence. A blank canvas has been provided us to draw with colors we see fit. You said. The same goes for humanity. Dora. Humanity is sort of alive as long as there are people living together. Just try living alone in your own apartment if you'd ever have the chance. If it can work, then yeah, maybe it'll be possible to survive even though things all around us might collapse, whether in this country, in America, or everywhere else in the world. You. At the very least, do what's needed to feed yourself. Focus on food storage. Work your hardest. Patrick, don't forget to eat animals if you do end up doing that. From the Frying of Lack 49 Facebook group, May 20, 2023. If I survive the coming war with an army of killer robots, will I be able to date anyone I choose? You sent. What? Is he for real right now? From the Willie Darby movie Facebook group, June 6, 2023. How was your day? From the Willie Darby movie Facebook group on September 12, 2023. What happened to all the animals and plants? From the Willie Darby movie Facebook group on September 23, 2023. Is the end coming or is the end still a long way out? Mermaids are real. The waves always give them a hard time, though. They're almost gone. Can't believe that anything of us can even remain at all after seeing that wave from below. Patrick message. Okay, can anyone here even read? When do we go? Fucking bots. Same shit, different day. Are you friends with anybody from back then? Can't people just shut up for 2 seconds? Sandra complained. This sucks. Just lost an entire war while no one was watching over a year later. Makes me sick that the American president gave my whole squad of robots an order to sit our hands while I know full well it's much worse now. That doesn't mean they shouldn't watch any other wars now. Our AI might not have access to it, but let me remind you that someone close to your relative sent us information from another dimension, right? When they could have kept us silent with fear or manipulation. Nobody knew where it came from either. Sandra scoffed. Of course, human-made software just figured that out. Yeah, man, but military equipment isn't operating off open source code. Sounds like the kind of thing one could slip onto something else without their knowledge at any given. You. Roll call. Thoughts on abortion. Sandra. You first. Patrick. Should I stop here or wait for the inevitable backlash? You. Obviously, we should just listen to your feelings, Patrick. When the time comes, if you're still fine with it, don't make us cry and spoil this important night. From the Frying of Lag 49 Facebook group on October 6, 2023. What does everyone plan to do during this apocalypse? Sandra said, well, I'd still like to think about things until there's no reason left not to get straight to making things right before everyone finds out in any case. Why haven't the authorities caught on to us? Patrick, the government is controlled by this shadow guild too. It's not like they could do a single damn thing if we put an army together against them. You said, see, that's your mistake, Sandra. You see one single source of truth while keeping out of focus everything else, where reality isn't truly represented anywhere other than in how we want it to be perceived. People have gotten far ahead because of one-way thinking. It doesn't matter how twisted you think they might be anymore, because the one-sided conversation would only have a negative connotation to it in your mind. That's a little cruel but true, don't you think? Dorian redacted. You were most likely an admin of a private server who was kidnapped. From the Frying of Lag 49 Facebook group on September 15, 2023. I can tell my robotics are bionic. You said, finally woke up today. But there aren't really many robots to wake up. Also, look at me typing. Oh right, what matters is your result and progress. Nothing to show off as an idle pastime when the future you is about to end. That sort of white seems more pointless now than it ever has, unless we're ready for an era where things would suddenly start up again in the next moment for no reason that matters whatsoever. Patrick. To be fair though, I am done with getting my kicks from bettering myself while retaining every aspect of my life I wanted. No way do I need that much control in my day-to-day life. You said, easier said than done.
Alright. So, this is an interesting run. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a take two and take all this out, but I have the settings ready. So I'm gonna, what do you call it? Duplicate it, and then we'll start from here. More soon.